All right, guys. This is round four, USA's turn. Very interesting predicament that an early J1 or actually J4 attack does for the Allies in the Pacific. Very interesting move here in by attacking 26 and then performing that withdrawal. Very nicely done, Adam. I like it. Definitely places the Allies in a pickle early in the game. So uh, we shall see what happens. All right. So the USA purchase. Um, US starts this game with 72 IPCs, of which seven I spent on industrial tech, which I already acquired. The US will be purchasing two carriers, one destroyer, one naval transport, three infantry, and one artillery. The Chinese, let me be doing simultaneously, start this game with 12 IPCs. Chinese will be um, purchasing or building or recruiting four ground units, four infantry. All right, so let's see what the attacks are. The U.S. basically only has two attacks. I am not attacking the Japanese fleet at Sea Zone 31. I believe it's 31, right? I think it's 31. Yeah, 31, Wake Island. Very tempting target, especially with those damaged carriers. But the odds, when everything I conferred back and forth with my allies, and ultimately, after conferring and going back and forth quite a few times, we decided not to attack the Japanese fleet. Being reason being that those super carriers carry the day for the Japanese. I think it's the odds are in favor for Japanese victory. At best, the U.S. can only get a tie or a draw there, and it's a risky one at that. So the first battle will be the U.S. destroyer coming from Season 101 at a movement of two will attack the German submarine. Okay, in Season 103, that attack will be supported by a fighter coming from the eastern USA at one, two, three. Okay, that fighter will have two movements left in its fuel gauge. Here we go. Okay, so that'll be two units against one. I will then do a second attack for the USA. The second attack for the US will be just a amphibious operation where the naval transport that survived the attack in Season 26, the initial Japanese attack, will pick up one infantry from Johnston Island at a movement of one, two, and three, and will uh, occupy New Britain. Okay, and the Japanese are officially kicked out and actually not occupied, but relieve or liberate is the word that I'm looking for. New Britain for the Anzacs. Okay, so that territory is now officially back in Anzac hands. Okay, so those are the two battles, if you want to call these battles. But so let's go ahead and resolve combat. First battle will be actually the only battle really. It's the fighter attacks at a three, and that destroyer attacks at a two. Okay, the German U-boat attacks at a one or less. There we go. Okay, got a hit. My fighter did the job. The submarine does get to shoot back or return fire, the word I'm looking for. And wow, got a hit. Adam, you actually, sorry, you can't complain. You sucked my destroyer. Not cool. All right, so I did this sink that submarine. That's that. Let's go ahead then with the non-combat movements for the USA. Okay, so the U.S. will take its two naval transports. Okay, bring it over to Sea Zone 91, and we'll bring over six ground units to Morocco. Okay, that's two, three, five, and six. So we have two mechs, two infantry, and artillery, and one armored unit. All right, so the infantry in central USA will move into eastern United States. Okay, all right. The bomber on what is it, on eastern U.S. Will take off at a movement of 1. Central USA, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will land in Hawaii. Okay. The other bomber on western USA will move 1, 2, and 3, and will also bring an additional 2 infantry. Okay, into the Hawaiian Islands. Okay, now there are 2 naval transports. Okay, by the way, I forgot to mention that I do have super transports for the USA. That was my technology. That's the reason why I was able to carry a total of 6 ground units that I brought over into Morocco. Okay, and I apologize for that, bringing that up to your attention prior to making those movements. So here we go. So I have 2 naval transports. They're picking up 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I'm bringing over an additional 6 ground units into Hawaii. Okay, I have quite an array of ground units already in Hawaii. That's going to be 2 artillery, 1 armor, and I believe 7 infantry. I'll let you guys know with my recap portion of this video what actually is there. So let me bring over my 2 transports, my battleship and destroyer in Season 31 will go to Season 26. The cruiser Season 12 will make steam and also join the fleet in Season 26. The U.S. fleet off the coast of San Francisco will make steam and also consisting of a battleship, cruiser, submarine, and destroyer. Movement of 1 and 2 will link up with the U.S. fleet in Season 26. Okay, the U.S. destroyer carrier with its complement of a tactical bomber and fighter will also make steam at a movement of 2 and will link up with the fleet in Season 26. The U.S. fighter, Midway Island, will also take off and will land in Hawaii. Okay. Let me see. The tactical fighter, okay, will take off from San Francisco. Movement of 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 will land in Hawaii as well. Alrighty. One fighter coming from Western USA will also land in Hawaii. Okay, an additional one. This fighter will head east and will land on the newly built carrier for the U.S. in Season 101. Okay. Mechanized infantry, Western USA will also head east and will link up with the American forces on the eastern seaboard. So we have the fighter that performed the attack in Season 103 will head south and land in Morocco. Okay. All right. What else? Okay. I think that does it for my non-combat movements for the U.S. I don't feel that I don't think I'm forgetting anything here. That's about it. So I'm gonna go ahead then with my placements of new units. I'm gonna place 1 newly built carrier on Season 10. Okay. I'm gonna place 2 infantry. No, 1 infantry Western USA, and this, of course, will then meet that criteria or the requirement that that I have to build 2 units on both the eastern and western seaboards of the United States in order to get my national objectives. So I get two and two, actually two and a few quite more on the eastern seaboard. So I'm okay in that area. All right, so here we go. So I built a destroyer, transport, and a carrier. Fighter will land on the carrier now. So we have. Okay. By the way, I believe I forgot to mention that I am carrying over 5 IPC from the USA. Okay, on my purchase. It was 60 IPCs that I spent overall. So I'm carrying over five. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Adam, I have no problem with you performing the attack in Hunan. Okay, that's not actually in Quichao. Uh, I understood what happened there. No biggie. Um, it is what it is. All right. So now the Chinese will be performing one attack, and it'll be right here. The one cavalry unit will blitz from Sichuan. Okay. One liberate Quichao and attack Hunan. Okay, so that's two. Okay, let's make that two. The fighter coming from Sichuan will also join that attack, and that's 1, 2. And will be attacking Hunan. Okay, so that's a fighter and a cavalry unit attacking that particular territory. All right. Okay, that's it. So let's roll for that battle. In that battle, we have the Chinese attacking 1 at 2. Fighter attacks at a 3. And here we go. Okay, both units hit. Okay, the Chinese defend at 2 and hit. Okay, so they both neutralize each other. Okay, Chinese do not take or do not liberate Hunan. Still a Japanese territory. However, Quichao was taken from the Japanese. So let me take that. All right. All right, so non-combat movements for the Chinese. The Chinese the fighter will land in Shanxi. One infantry from Shanxi will move up north into Sui Yuan. Okay. Two cavalry will move into Shanxi. Okay. These two will also move into Shanxi. And they move one more here. So that's 2 infantry in Sui Yuan. So I'm going to go and place the purchases. It's going to be a total of 4 infantry for the Chinese. Okay. All right. So then, believe that does it for the Chinese uh, non-combat and placements of new units. I'm going to go ahead with my recap. Gonna start. Let's first start with the Chinese. The Chinese have 2 infantry in Sui Yuan. In Shenzi, there are 6 infantry, 2 cavalry, and 1 fighter. Okay, and that is the disposition of forces for the Chinese in China. So let's go ahead for the U.S. Let's do the recap. There's 1 infantry in Alaska, 1 infantry on the western United States, 1 carrier, Sea Zone 10. Sea Zone 26, you have 2 battleships, 1 carrier with a tactical and a fighter. Then you have Let me see. I said two battleships, two cruisers, one submarine, two destroyers, and two naval transports. Okay, in season 26. Okay, in Hawaii itself, you have two bombers, three, six fighters. Okay, that's two bombers, no, five fighters and one tactical bomber. So that's two bombers, five fighters, and one tactical bomber. You have one armor unit, two artillery, and four, five, six, seven, eight infantry units. So that's eight infantry total. Eight infantry, two artillery, one armored unit, five fighters, one tactical bomber, and two strategic bombers in Hawaii. Midway, you have one infantry. All right, eastern seaboard of the United States, you have season 101. You have a carrier, one fighter, naval transport, one destroyer. Eastern seaboard, you have one AAA, two infantry, one mechanized infantry, actually three infantry, one mechanized, and one artillery. That's what we have in eastern seaboard, the United States. Season 91, you have one, actually two naval transports, along with a British destroyer. In Morocco, you have a U.S. fighter, two infantry, two mech infantry, one artillery, and one armored unit in Morocco. All right. So, believe the U.S. has 52 IPCs. That's how much the U.S. is collecting. Have three national objectives. Okay. So that's going to be 15 plus 52. That's let me see, 50. Forgetting how to count here. Let me see that. Okay, so 67 IPCs is what the U.S. is carrying over for round five. And let's not forget that the loss of the Philippines means the loss of a national objective for the U.S., and that's why we lose those five points or five IPCs that the U.S. would normally acquire or would have. All right, so that's about it, guys. Good game so far. Very challenging to say the least. You guys are definitely putting pressure very early on, very early in the game against the allies. But I figured after consulting with my allies that reinforcing and hunkering down in season 26 in Hawaii is the way to go for us at this point, for us to go. All right, guys, that's it. And good luck to whoever's next.